how you doing? This is TV and school. Вивчаємо з тобою ми англійську. How are you? Що скажеш, коли ти зустрінеш якогось іноземця? So, let's speak English. Англійська мова Шекспіра та нью-йоркських таксистів. Англійська стане у нагоді вам, бойські дівчиська.
Hello again, and together with you there are Oksana Ivanenko and Paul Lowe.
Hello, Oksana. Hello, Year 5.
So, today we continue working on the school life and we'll find out what kind of student are you. So, Paul, do you think, were you a good student at school?
I was probably adequate.
What does that mean?
I was like not bad, but not good.
Okay, so something in the middle, am I right?
Yes.
Okay, right guys, and we will start our class with the school jokes. Paul, did you like to joke at school?
Me and my friend had a very good practical joke that we played on other people, and it soon spread around the whole school.
Seriously?
Yes.
Okay, you'll tell us about it in just a moment after we finish our task. Let's start, guys. Let's have a look at the board. There are two halves of the jokes, and we'll try to match them together. All right, number one, Paul.
Why was school easier for cave people?
What do you think about that?
Maybe because they were at the beginning of history, so perhaps there was no history to study.
Absolutely, that's correct. They were at the very beginning of our history. The next one, did your father help you with your homework?
Definitely he did.
Definitely he did. But do we have this answer here?
I think it's number 6. He did all the homework by himself.
Right, exactly, guys. Does it ever happen to you when your parents are so helpful that they decide, okay, a deep breath, and it's easier to do it all by myself than to explain it to my child. Number 3, there is a short dialogue. So, what did you do at school today?
We did a guessing game.
Oh, but I thought you were having a math test. Remember, that's a joke, so there should be a funny ending. What do you think, Suits?
Oh, this is a difficult one. I'm not too sure.
Look, what did you do at school today? We did a guessing game. But I thought you were having a math test. That's right. That was kind of a guessing game because the student isn't very confident in the math. That's why that was the guessing game.
He didn't do any revision.
Absolutely. So, guys, revision, do you remember what is that? Це повторення матеріалу, вже вивченого перед контрольною або заліковою роботою. So, guys, I hope that you have never played the guessing game in the numeracy because you should be the diligent students. So, the other one, you know you can't sleep in my class.
I know, but maybe if we were just a little quieter, I could.
Absolutely. Does it ever happen to you? Especially, I guess, in the mornings, right? When you wake up early and you want to sleep. And especially when the teacher is very quiet and calm, it gets you, poof, fall asleep in the lesson. Has it ever happened to you?
Not really, no. I'm normally quite good in the mornings. I'm a morning person.
Right.
In the afternoon lessons, maybe after lunch, that's when I fall asleep.
Okay, I see. I'm absolutely the opposite. I'm the evening person, so I'm the most productive in the evenings and at night. So in the morning, I always want to sleep. And the last one, why did Johnny take a ruler to bed?
This one must be the only one that's left because he wanted to see how long he slept.
Absolutely. So you see, that's the play with the words. How long he slept and how long we measure the distance and the time, right? Okay, and now let's ask Mr. Paul to share that funny joke or a trick that came widespread in his school. So what was that?
It was like a practical joke. So to be honest, I don't know why or how me and my friend started this, but we said that if we made something good luck, so people had to do this to receive good luck, so everybody was doing it after we told the story. We said that if you see a funeral procession, that's like black cars taking a dead body to the cemetery for a funeral. If you see one of these go past you in the street, you must hold your collar. This is a collar. And you cannot let go of your collar until you see a four-legged animal, probably a cat or a dog. So sometimes if you're in school, you look out the window, you can't see a cat and dog. So our friends were holding a collar for like 2 hours. So it became a practical joke.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. Wasn't it looking strange holding the collar for such a long time?
After a few lessons, the teachers would be like, students, why are you all looking out the window holding your collar?
That's fun, guys. Okay, so I'm sure that you have a lot of jokes in your school as well. But now we need to move on to the other task we have for today. And here we go. Let's revise the school subjects that we learned the last class. Okay, there are all of the pictures, and I'm sure all of you know what's going on here. It's just a short recall of the subject names. So, what do we call the subject that helps us with the numbers, with adding them up and minusing them from each other?
This is mathematics.
Absolutely. And the learning of another language will be, in our case,
English.
Right? And when we need to remember the dates and different events that has already happened.
History.
Right. And when we need to be very active during the class.
Physical education.
Right. And when we switch on our brains and start to work on different projects.
Projects?
With the technology.
Internet technology, IT.
Yep. Exactly. And when we need to get into acting and pretend to be another person.
Drama.
Yes. And when we do the experiments.
Science.
Yep. And when we learn our native language.
Ukrainian.
Good. And when we find out about different places around the world.
Geography.
And when we are using our artful skills to create something beautiful.
Could be art or music.
Okay, very well. Let's have a look if you guessed it together with us. So here we are. Everything is correct. Thank you very much. So now, guys, let's have a look at these words that might seem unknown for you in our next task. So, to work hard означає старанно працювати. To respect – поважати. To create rules – створювати правила. To break the rules – порушувати ці ж правила. Punishment – покарання. To be very good at something – це бути вправним у чомусь. Та outside – на свіжому повітрі. So now you are absolutely prepared to get to know about a very unusual school in the world. Paul, I remember that you've been very good at geography when you were at school. Am I right?
Yeah, I do like geography, yes.
Yes. You know, I've always wondering, how do people remember all these difficult geographical names, coordinates, the numbers? How is that possible?
Well, I used to just like make word patterns. I think it's called semantic links. So you make patterns in your brain, you make connections with other words you already know. This helps you to remember better. So, for example, this is a modern link, but you know, the Amazon is a famous company now, so you'd remember the Amazon company and the Amazon River, or you know, like you could think of a place like, let's say, a famous city like New York. You could think of think of new things, and you remember New York. So just make simple connections with what you know already and make word patterns. That's what I used to do.
Right. That's a very good way to remember the new things when you are learning something difficult or easy. And now, Paul, do you know that there is a school in the world where the students can do whatever they really want?
This is what we call anarchy, yes? Chaos.
Yes, it could be that, but the students in that school are very diligent, like you are in geography. Diligent means старанний. Дуже diligent students – це дуже старанні студенти. So, and they even create the rules for their own school. Do you want to know more about this school?
Yes, sounds very interesting. Let's learn more.
The first thing I'd like to share with you about this school is that in this school, teachers are like friends for their students, and the lessons are always funny and interesting because everyone works hard and respects their teachers.
In this school, sometimes students can teach lessons if they are very good at something. They teach their friends about music, dance, and art. The lessons can also be outside the classroom.
Oh, that must be great. Have you ever thought that in spring or probably in autumn, where the weather is still nice, of going outside and having a class, breathing the fresh air, having some fun? That's the great idea.
And now fresh air is very important.
Absolutely right. So when the more fresh air we get, the healthier we are. And there is one more interesting fact about that school, that students, as I said previously, create their own rules about important things. And moreover, they choose the punishment for those people who break the rules. Can you believe it? They are so serious about their school. And they even help the school to choose a teacher who will work the next academic year. That sounds like a great idea. Paul, have you ever heard of the students who can choose a teacher for their school?
Actually, a job interview I went to be a teacher in a school. Normally in a teacher's interview, they have to do a practice lesson in front of other teachers or heads of department. But in this school, they had 3 or 4 students observe your interviewee lesson. So that was quite interesting, and they got evaluation from the students on what they thought this potential teacher would be like in their school. So that's a good idea.
That sounds very interesting. So guys, will you take up a chance and choose a teacher for your school? You know what? I guess there would be no school, no homework, and all the fun and games if the students could choose a teacher for themselves.
No, they would choose me and you.
Why do you think so?
Because they're watching us.
Maybe, who knows? Okay, and now guys, we'll find out how well you are as a student, and will you suit this type of school that has everything designed especially for their students. Okay guys, and now, would you like to be a student of the Horizons Community School? Would you like to be in charge of everything that's going on in your school? Let's find out if you can suit that school. Давайте дізнаємося, чи підійшли б ви в цю школу. So, I suggest you take a piece of paper and a pencil. Будь ласка, візьміть зараз лист паперу та олівець. We're doing a quiz. Ми з вами проводимо опитування. So, for each question you have 3 options, A, B, or C. Each option equals number of points you get. 1, 2, or 3. Please be careful because for each question the numbers of points will be different. Будь ласка, будьте уважні, тому що в кожному питанні змінюється розподіл балів, які ви отримуєте за вашу відповідь. So, are you ready, Mr. Paul?
Yes.
Let's start. Okay, so I will describe a situation for you and you need to choose what suits best. It's your English lesson and you haven't done your homework. Whoa, whoa. What do? A. You tell the teacher that you had more important work to do. Let's say in geography. Who knows? B. You tell the teacher that your book is at home. And C. You say, I'm very sorry and accept the punishment. So, Mr. Paul, did you remember the number of points you got?
Yes.
Okay, so we move on to the next question. You are making some new rule in your school. What is that? A. Teachers must respect students and help them in every way. B. All students can leave school early on Friday afternoons. C. You can stay home from school on your birthday. So, I guess this one is quite nice, right?
That's very appealing to me.
But on the other hand, how will you get all the congratulations and the presents and the happy birthday songs from the teachers, the friends, the school? Yeah.
But some people are very shy, like Mr. Paul, so it's embarrassing when everyone sings happy birthday to me.
Oh, I see what you mean, Mr. Paul. Okay, so remember the points? Move on. Question number 3. You are very good at drama. And your teacher says, teach the next lesson. What do? A. You ask the students what they want to do a few days before a class. B. You just put a film in the classroom and go home early. Who cares? Whatever. And C. You tell the students to write their own plays and practice them. I guess that's the easiest way to deal with the situation. Put a film, leave the classroom, done.
Yes, but maybe doesn't really involve the whole class. That's one person's decision. Maybe they should have more teamwork skills.
Yeah, could be. And also, it's not very respectful, right? Not very responsible. So, have you written down your points? Question number 4. You and your friends are helping the head teacher. The head teacher – це директор школи. Choose a new teacher for school. Who do you want to get the job? And now we'll find out what teachers our students like. So, A. The friendly one, because it's always good to have nice teachers. B. The one who is the most interesting and who has the best ideas. C. The shy teacher, because this teacher won't be angry with us. Mr. Paul, which teacher would you choose?
I would choose A, the friendly one.
The friendly one. Right, okay, I see. So there is no option if the teacher has the most interesting ideas but is very strict. So it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, some people have very good ideas, are very creative, but if they can't deliver them and inform people in a friendly way, maybe people won't concentrate to what they're saying.
Right, and maybe they will finish, okay, I'm waiting, like, what's the time? What's the time waiting for the lesson to finish? Okay, right, and the last question, and then we'll find out the results. Okay, here we go. Your teacher asks you to think of a punishment for late comers. Do you remember? Punishment – це покарання. What's the best idea in your opinion? It's A. They must do extra homework. B. They must say, I'm sorry to the class and explain why were they late. Or C. It's okay to be late sometimes. Why do we need any punishment?
I had a colleague, an ex-colleague I used to work with, and they did B all the time, every day. And they used to get the students to stand up in front of their peers and explain why they were late. It became quite entertaining because some of the excuses and stories were very funny.
Right, and you know, guys, sometimes teachers use them in their class,
Yes.
right? To tell the jokes. Okay, right. So I hope that you managed to write all of the numbers for your choices, for your answers. And now we'll have a look at the results and find out how good are you as a student. So there are the keys for the quiz. If you scored 5 to 7 points, it means that you are a terrible student. And you don't like going to school, you don't respect your teachers, and probably that Horizon School won't want to see you as their student. If you scored 8 to 11 points, you are a friendly student and you want to enjoy school, but maybe you like your freedom too much, so you need to work on your behavior more. And if you scored 12 to 15 points, it means that well done. You are a mature and responsible student. Mature and responsible означає дорослий та відповідальний учень або учениця. And the perfect candidate for the school. Mr. Paul, will you tell us what kind of student are you?
Well, I'd like to say that I got 15 out of 15, but you mustn't lie, so I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
I got 12. I scored 12. So I'm nearly mature and responsible.
Okay, right. So what result have you got? That would be very interesting to know. Like if you are the good candidate to enter that school or there are some areas for improvement. Nevertheless, thank you for taking part in our quiz and we are moving on. So, as you noticed, we spoke about the school and of course every school has the rules.
Yes, very important to stick to rules.
Right, whether we like it or not, there are rules that we must follow. Did you hear that? Must. By the way, that's the perfect word to tell about the rules. So, we use must and mustn't when we tell about the rules. Let's have a look at must. So, we use this word to tell what is important or necessary to do. Like, we must follow the rules in school. Do not forget that must is the same for every person. It doesn't change, it doesn't have any extra endings, it just stays must. For I, for you, for them, he, she, it stays the same for everyone. Let's have a look at mustn't. So when we speak about mustn't, it tells what you are not allowed to do. So it's prohibited. No way you can do it. It also stays the same for every person. And we have the example. We mustn't be rude to the others. So it's not good to be rude to the others. Now, what do you think of having some practice exercise?
Yes, it's a good idea to practice.
Here we go. Now, we suggest you to create 3 of your own rules for your school. In the second column, write the punishment if someone breaks the rule you have created. Here we have the example. We mustn't call each other bad names. And the punishment we've thought about is if someone breaks this rule, they will need to write 100 different nice words for their classmates, probably in English.
Yes, must be in English.
Right.
Compliments in English.
Yes. Mr. Paul, do you have any ideas regarding the rules and the punishment for them?
We mustn't, in school, we mustn't cheat or plagiarize or do homework by copying somebody else's homework.
Right. That's very important things as well. And what could be the punishment for that?
You have extra homework.
Right. That's a very good idea to practice more and to learn how to do that exercise on your own. Okay, so you see, there is a line for you. So, can you please right now create the rules for your own school and think of the punishment that can be applied to that rule? And maybe when the new school year starts, you can come up to your teacher and say, let's make some rules, right? And make our environment friendlier for each other. So, Mr. Paul, I guess that's the end of our class today. So we shall say goodbye to our students and we'll see you the next time.
Goodbye, Year 5.
Goodbye, everyone.